Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tuesday Night Legacy. We've got something special for you tonight. This is an exhibition match of the Premodern format. For those not familiar with Premodern, it is a community-created format. It encompasses 4th edition to Scourge and has its own ban list, and it is basically just a self-contained, interesting format and is pretty fun. So it's been gaining a little bit of traction at the store, and if you guys are interested in seeing more, then we can get more of that content on this channel. The decks being showcased here in this video are Abzan Control and Counter Rebels. Jack is on the left playing an Abzan Control list. This deck is based around the card Pernicious Deed, being able to destroy all of these different permanent types, and it does a lot of ramping with Rampant Growth and Wall of Roots. It also likes to destroy more problematic permanents with a playset of Vindicate and Swords to Plowshares. So basically just your classic Abzan Control list, and it wins the game by either cycling or casting a Decree of Justice, or casting a huge Deathgrasp a couple turns in a row. On the right, you have the Counter Rebels list. This is based off of the Rebel creature type that all have this ability of tap and search for a rebel that cost X or less. Now, the breakout star rebel of this deck is, of course, Lyn Civi, Defiant Hero, being able to search for any mana cost rebel as long as you have the mana to pay for it. And since this ability, all of these abilities can be activated at instant speed, it runs playsets of Mana Leak and Counterspell to be able to be a reactive deck and kind of tempo your opponent out by either countering their stuff or using your leftover mana to go and get yourself one of those rebels and being able to attack turn after turn after turn. So it's a little bit of a weenie tempo deck. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a full match here. This was played right before a tournament, so we were only able to get through a game and a half, but I still wanted to put it up anyway, so let's get it started. We have myself on the play here, starting with a Flooded Strand into Plains past the turn. See Jack just going for that Treetop Village. This can turn into a 3/3 as long as you pay 2 mana into it. And the Remosian Sergeant on the other side of the table is a good turn 1 play. Going to be able to get creatures out with the Sergeant. A Duress there, taking one of the counter spells. Stuck on 2 mana, passing it back. Drawing that 3rd mana off the top, passing the turn. Having another mana Leak in hand on my side. Makes it so Jack doesn't want to commit anything to the board. Paying to bring a Defiant Falcon into play off of the Sergeant's ability. This also has a search up ability, paying 4. Getting to look for a 3 or less. And of course, going to grab Lyn Civi here. Now this is the perfect place that Counter Rebels wants to be. Doing all of this stuff at the end of your opponent's turn. Jack actually just not having any gas at all. Now that that Defiant Falcon is attacking in the air, there is no point in activating the Treetop Village either. Could get in for some beats, but passes the turn, sees the Swords to Plowshares in hand. Doesn't really want to fall into that. Just ripping lands off the top. On my side, see a Pernicious Deed come down. The secret card not known about in my hand was a counter spell, so Jack has to send that Pernicious Deed to the graveyard. If he could get that Pernicious Deed resolved, that would have probably saved him here, being able to blow the board. Paying X into it, getting rid of CMC creatures. Casting a Moment's Peace, preventing all combat damage that would be dealt. Mana Leak for the Moment's Peace, although it can be flashed back. No more counterspells in hand. A second Pernicious Deed. So blowing the board, Jack decides it's not worth it. If he can only blow the board for 3, he's going to keep the Reveille Squad and going to keep the Remosian Sky General in play. The Sky General being one of the better cards. And scoops it up and goes to game 2. Start with the Duress, taking a counterspell. Not a great hand on my side here. Wall of Roots coming down, a little bit of mana ramp. Deciding to fetch at end step. Gets a land, sets up for the counterspell. Just plays a land and pass. Jack with the Treetop Village pass. Sometimes the pre-modern format can be a little bit slow. Not all the time, though. There are a lot of fast decks. Casting a Shared Triumph, choosing creature type Rebel. This is basically just an Anthem effect to make the deck a little bit more effective. Seeing a Vindicate. Thinking about using that counterspell. Blew up not the Shared Triumph, but the Coastal Tower. Just a dual land there. Seeing a Rampant Growth on Jack's side, grab at that Plains. Cast a Mother of Runes off the deck. Now this is not a Rebel, but it is a human. And unfortunately that was the end of our game. So hopefully you guys got a feel for the format a little bit. If you do want to see more, we can get more decks on there, and obviously full games next time with sideboard and everything. Just let me know in the comments, or like the videos if you're interested in adding this format to the channel. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, we have a bunch more videos on the channel you can go check out. Thanks as always to Spellhold Games for allowing us to record in their store. And as always, the deck lists or approximation of the deck lists are going to be in the description below. And the next video on the channel is going to be a Pauper match. It's going to be Mono Black Control versus Red Kiln Fiend. We'll see you then.